Hey, hi friends. Welcome to today's video. So today we are going to continue what we have developed in the previous video that how to make a API call in SwiftUI and how we can populate in our list view. So what we are going to today different is like in last video I discussed about MVVM architecture. So today we will see that whether the app which we have developed is completely in terms of MVVM, like is it completely testable? So that what we are going to focus. Okay. So I'll just give an overview that what we did in last video. So we took a comment view where we have taken a list and we are calling a API fetch comments where we are hitting a surface and getting the comments from there. And once we get the comments, we display it in the list. So let's run this application. And once you click on any list item, it will go to the detail page. So this is the application that we developed. Yeah, so you can see that we have displaying a list of comment, and then once you click it, it will go to the detail page. Okay. So many of you requested like how I can use Alamo Fire instead of using URL system. So we'll see that as well. So let's first see what is MVVM. So I have just opened a diagram of MVVM. So we have view model, and we have model. So view in this case is our comment view, like where you actually display the UI part to the user. So that is your view. And view model is again a class. In our case, we have comment view model. So view communicates with with the view model, and then view model communicates with the model. So model in our case we have a comment model. So this is our model class. So whenever view needs any data, so view will tell the view model, view model will get it from the model, and then it again return back it to the view. So view will never talk directly with the model. Okay. Now what is the responsibility of view model in this case? So responsibility of view model is to handle the view logic, not to handle the business logic. Then in that case, who will handle the business logic? So we can include the business logic, network logic, or any other thing related to such that as a dependency injection in our view model. Okay, like if you see in the last class, we were using a comment view service, but we are not injecting as a dependency in this particular case. So today we'll see how we can use this as a dependency injection also. So view model handles the view logic, and it also handles the business logic, but not directly through some other class as a dependencies. Okay. So few things which you need to take care in the view model, that view model should never import anything related with your view. When we say related with view, that means it should never import a Swift UI component. Like it should never have a Swift UI button component or any other component, or the same similar thing goes to the UI kit. Okay. Now, when you write a view model, so you should also focus on one thing, that how can you make view model testable? Like in this case, for example, let's say that if I have to write a test for this view model class. Okay. Now, when you write a test model means you have to test whether you are getting the comments or not. Now, once you create a view model object, then if you call the fetch comment, what will happen in this particular scenario, that you will be directly calling the actual API. But when you write the test, you don't call the actual API, you actually mock it. So that means this code is MVVM, but it is not in terms of a proper testable. So this is what we are going to change, that how can I make this code adhere to proper MVVM principle, and how can I make it this code testable. Okay. So for this, we use a protocol oriented approach much in Swift. So let's first import Alamo Fire. So this is Alamo Fire website. I'm just going to get the link from here. Then it's very simple. Click on the project. Then just copy and paste this URL and select Alamo Fire, add package. So it's adding the package. It will take some time. As added, and now you can see in the package dependency we have added Alamo Fire. It can also be added through other package dependency manager like Cocoa Pods, Carthage, but yeah, nowadays we use package dependencies most. But yeah, you can do the same thing using other package dependency manager as well. Okay. Now let's write. So right now, what you see, if you see my comment view service class, here I am writing this URL session directly in my comment view service. Now, what is the problem in this case? So in your real time app, you will have multiple screens. And like, let's say that if I'm writing a service class for each screen, that means I can have 20, 30, 40. In that case, if this, or even if let's say that if I have copy and pasted another function like get comment list, so that means I'm writing this URL session again. That means it's a duplicate of code, correct? So that should be avoided when you are writing a proper reusable code. Okay, so comment view service should not talk with the URL session directly. Okay, so now let's say that how we can segregate it. Okay, so let's create two classes for that. So first I will create a new folder here. So I'll call it as network, and then inside it I'll create a class as my API router, and I'll create one more class, REST API client. Now what will the functionality of these two classes? That API router will just form all the request for me. Okay, and then REST API client will make the actual API call. Okay, so let's come and let's create the API router class. Okay, so first thing is that I'm going to import Elmo file. Okay, and then I'm going to write here enum API router, and it is going to confirm to a protocol URL request convertible. So now if I go to the definition of this thing, it actually it is inside Alamo file library, and it helps us to create a URL request object. Okay, so once you confirm to this, it will give you error to implement the URL request object. So see, it is giving a URL request object to implement. So here we will be forming our URL request. Now see, in the actual scenario, lot of URLs. So it's not like that I'm going to hard code it again for this particular example just for the comments. So I'm just going to make it more generic. So let's define few more parameters, like what will be my URLs. My case, get comments, because I'm fetching comments. Okay. Now we'll also define a URL path for this, like from where the URL path will come. So here we'll just switch our self, and this is going to implement all the cases. So right now we have just one case, so we are just going to define get comments, and here I'm going to return the URL which I'm using in my comment view service. So here I'll just copy this URL and paste it here. So now my URL is done, that from where I'm getting the URL. So you can have in your real-time example, you can have as many as cases which is defined here. Okay, now let's go to the URL request method. So here first thing is that I'll get the URL path dot as URL. Okay, and let's form the request object. Now in your actual project, you can have more things here, like you can have headers, you can have parameters. So similarly, I can define those components as well, and I can just attach those components here. Now my API router is ready. The work of this API router is just to create a request object for me. Okay, just for simple example, I can show you that how can I add, let's say, a method type. Okay, like whether it is a get or whether it is a post. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to declare method, and we have HTTP method here, and then again I will write switch self dot get comments, and this is a get method, so I'll just return dot get. Okay, and here I can just provide the method. So URL request dot HTTP method not body, method equals to method dot raw value. Similarly, you can add headers, parameters, everything to this request. Why it is giving error? Okay, because I have defined it late, it should be where, because we are modifying it. Okay, so now my request is ready. Now I wrote this in wrong place, so this should be in my router class. Okay, now let's come to REST API client. So what will be the purpose of REST API client? So REST API client will actually talk to my Alamo file. Okay, so let's define this class, and this will have a parameter route. So we'll call af.request, we'll pass the router. So basically this router will contain your URL request object, and then we'll get the result. So let result equals to response.result. Okay. Now I can just write my switch case, switch result, and then case.success. In this case, I'll get data, and then I will have a failure case as well. So case.failure. In this case, I'll get error. Okay. Now, once you get the data, like decoding, like converting it to the actual object. So one thing is that I can pass here that which object you can decode, or I can just bring this data back to my service class, and there I can decode. The other way is that I can decode it in a generic object and then take directly my model from here back to my service. Okay. So what I will do, I'll write here a generic decoder. So I'll confirm to this codable protocol, and I'll take one parameter that I'm going to pass the type, and a completion handler block. So if you see in previous case, we also had a completion handler block where we were passing result, comment model, array of that, and the error type. Okay. So here also we'll pass the same thing, but instead of passing a comment model, I'll pass a generic model. So result T, and what I'm going to do, as not this doesn't belongs to this, I'll just bring it here, and I'll call it as network error. Okay. Now result T, and in the case of error, I'll return network error. Now let's come to the decoding part. So here, what I'm going to do, first I'll check whether I got the data or not. So got let data equals to data. Else I have to do completion dot failure, and what will the error type? No data. Okay, and after that simply return. In the else if it doesn't hit this, that means I have the proper data and I have to do the decoding. Okay, so we can do it like guard let object equals to try. Even if you want, I can just copy and paste this, but this time instead of decoding it to comment model, I'll decode it to a generic object. Okay, if the decoding fails, we have to return uh, decoding failure error. Else, like if there's no error here in this case, then in the success case we're going to return completion dot success, and we are going to return here object. Okay, now in the failure case we are just going to return error. So completion dot failure, and I'm just going to return. So it's this error is of what type? This is AF error. So we cannot directly pass the AF error directly. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add one more case here. Is API error, and it will have some value. Let's say a string type associated value, and here I'll pass dot API error, and this value will come from error dot localized description. Okay, so now my REST API client is also done. So let's do one thing. Let's define here one more method which will fetch the comment. Okay, so now one more thing which you have noticed that I'm defining a static function here. The reason is that I don't want to create an object of it, so I can access it without creating an object these methods. So that's the reason I'm putting a static keyword here. Static function get comments completion. Now see, this method will be same as what I defined in my service class. So let's just copy this method. So this we are going to call. Now see, in this case we will be having the actual model, because now we once I get the data, I have it will be typecasted to the actual model, and now there is no demo error. So what we are going to replace, we're going to replace with as network error. Okay, and here I'm just going to return this request. So return request type will be comment model dot self. So just copy dot self, router will be dot get comments, and completion will be just completion. Okay, now yes, there's error requires comment model to confirm to encodable. So my model class where it is just confirming to decodable, so it is asking to confirm to encodable as well. So either I can write as decodable comma encodable like this, or instead of writing both, I can just write one, that is codable, which is a type alias of decodable and encodable protocol. Okay, now the error is gone from here. Now let's come back to our comment view service. Now here there is no requirement of making the network API call, because we are doing it from our REST API client. Now instead of making the API call directly inside this class method like the concrete implementation, what we are going to use, we are going to use the protocol oriented concept, so that we can make it more testable, like we can implement the method as we want for our test cases as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to define a protocol here, and this protocol will have the same method, exactly same method. Okay, I'll just removing this optional because now I'm not returning any optional variable. Okay, and there's no demo error, so it is network error, and this class will now conform to this delegate. The advantage what it gives is that, let's say that if you have to write a test cases, or in this video or in the next video I'm going to write the test cases for this, I can write a mock uh, view service where instead of calling the actual API, I will be reading data locally, or I can mock that API call easily. Okay, so here it implemented the same method, and then it will call REST API client dot get comments and completion. Okay, now if I build it, still is giving any some error. Okay, this is still optional, so I'm just removing this optional. So let's build it. Now it got succeeded. Now if you see, there was no change in the view model till now. The only thing is that now we are not passing optional, so it will always have the value. Okay, so what I have done till now, that I replaced from the URL assistant to Elmo Fire, wrote a separate class. Now if you see the comment view model, it is fetching the data, but it don't know from where the data is coming. It is just calling the comment view service dot get comment. Now one thing what we are still missing that. Let's say that in this example also, if I'm going to write the test cases, again the problem still remains same, that I'll call this function fetch comments and it will still call directly get comments, and this get comment will still directly call my REST API client. Okay, so somehow we have to change this implementation from here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to override this init method so that I can include the dependency injection, and here I'll create a object of, let's say, private let a comment view service. Okay, I'll just call it as comment view service, and then this value, I'll give the default value here. Like, what is the default value here? I'll just pass it here. Okay, now here I'm just going to write self dot comment view service equals to comment view service, and now instead of creating instance here, I'll use this instance to call the service call. Okay, there. Okay, sorry, my bad. So what is happening? I'm just overriding the init method, taking a parameter of comment view service, and if you don't provide any value, then by default it will have comment view service. Okay, now the code remains same, and it will call the comment view service dot get comments. But if you have this comment view service, that means we're creating the object of this. So even if I think again in terms of mocking it, I cannot mock it, because I, in that case also, I need to create a object of comment view service only, and then it will again call the REST API client only. So now instead of creating this object, I'll create an object of protocol type, because as this class conform to this protocol, I can do that. So here this will be of this type, and this will pass in this case a instance of comment view service. Now see, it is still work as it is. Now if I run this, let's see that if I'm getting proper result or not. So I'm getting the proper list, everything is working as it is. Okay, now let's say that how I can write a unit test case in this particular example. So for that, first thing what we need to do, that we need to have a local file from where I can read all my comments. So let's do that. So let's bring this and paste it here. So I'm just going to attach it, and now I have a comments ready with my all the comment. Okay, also I'm going to create a mock class here. So new file, I'll call it as mock comment view service. Okay, now this mock class will again come. So first thing what I have to import the main project, set the rate testable import API call SwiftUI. Okay, now I'll confirm to the same protocol here, which is this, and now as per our need I can do whatever I want. Okay, so I add protocol. Now instead of making the actual API call here, what I will do, we have to somehow mock this. Okay, now how can I mock this particular thing? So in this case, what I will do, I will read this particular comment file instead of making the actual API call. So what I'm going to do is guard lit. So let's first create a file to read the data. So private function read local JSON file. Okay, and here this is going to return me a data. So I'll take a do catch block, and here we have to first take the URL. So file URL equals to dot main dot URL. For resource we have to give the file name. So file name is comments. And what is the extension? Dot JSON. So we'll pass JSON. Else, if let's say that if it is not able to find the file, then it will return nil. That means there is no data. Means there is no way of providing the data. If the file exists, that means I have the data. So let's get the data. So try data contents of it through. That's why I'm using try and contents of this file URL. Okay, and I'll simply return this data. In the catch, means if something goes wrong, it will come as an error. And here I'll just return nil again. But for my information, I'll just print the error. Okay. Now here I'm going to now use this JSON data equals to read local file else dot failure. And what is this? No data. Means we do not find any data in this particular case. Else we have now data, so we can use, like, we can just decode this data. So let's do it. So let object equals to try. So it is just similar to what we did earlier. So we'll decode it, and we know that I have to decode it for my comment model. So comment model dot self, and data is my JSON data. And in this case, the completion will be dot success, and I will be passing my object. Again, I will have error if something goes wrong. I'll print that error, and I'll pass completion dot failure. This error is decoding error. Okay. So now my mock service is ready. Okay, I'm missing a return statement here. So now my mock content view service is ready. Okay. Now how to use this mock content view service? Because we have to write the test cases for my view model. So what I will do first thing, that let's create a new file here. This a new file, and then unit test case. I'll write it here as comment view model test, and then create it. Now let's delete all these things. And so what test cases we can cover in this particular scenario? So one thing is like how many comments we have. So we have total of how many comments? Let me go down. So we have around 500 comments in this case. So we can count that whether we are getting all the 500 comments or not. Okay. So let's write function test comments, and then inside that let's create an object of view model. That means comment view model. Where is comment view model? Here. And see, now we can pass this object which is confirming to comment view service delegate. But now why I am doing this means I didn't do this in my comments view. Like here, if you see, I'm just taking a normal view model object. I'm not passing any parameter to it, because if you see the view model what I have created, I am passing a default parameter of type comment view service initializers. Okay, that means if you don't pass anything, it will have this as default value. But when I'm writing my test classes, in this case, I'm have to pass it, because I have to pass a type of my mock. Okay, so I'll pass here as mock comment view service. Okay, so now instead of accessing this class, it will access my mock comment view service. Okay, because now I have to read the data from my local. So now let's go back here, and then I'm going to just write dot fetch comment. Okay, and after that we can just let's write a simple case that xct assert dot comments equals to. Okay, so now let's run this test and see it works or not. So it is giving some sort of error. Okay, yeah, we have to compare with the count. So let's run this test case. So my test case fails. So I'm just putting a breakpoint and see what went wrong. So I'll just run it once more time. So I'll just see if I am putting some wrong count or it is not fetching count at all. So dot comments dot count, and it is coming as 0. That means something went wrong in fetching the comment. If I see now in the mock service that whether we are getting the object or not. So let it run one more time. So let it just run, and but here we are getting the object correctly as 500. But here what is happening when I'm trying to print it, it is still 0. So what can be the issue? So one issues can be like see here we are using a dispatch queue main.async. So before the data is actually coming in my comments, this line is getting executed. Okay, so what I can do is that I can just remove this code from, where is that fetch comments here. I can remove this main thread here. Okay, now it can have other implications that we'll see, but let's see our test cases first. Now this time if I run it, my test case got succeeded. That means it's able to read the comment. Now let's run the app. That if I remove that dispatch queue.main.async.main thread, is it crashing or something is happening? It is not crashing, everything is fine. But now whether that was correct or not. So if you see here in my REST API client, once I'm getting the response, one thing what I can do, I can take a main thread here only, dispatch queue.main.async. That means after my response, I'll do everything on the main thread. Okay, now let's build it and run it one more time. It's working fine. It is going to detail also. Now let's go back to our test and run our test one more time. So now this is also perfectly working. So today we discussed like how we can write a proper MVVM code with proper testability, and we also see how we can introduce protocol oriented programming into the Swift and write the test cases for it. So that's all for today's video. So we will uh, have one more video on this list, like where I will show you how I can edit, I can put a checkbox and write more test cases for it. Thanks for watching this video, and if you really like this video, do like, comment, share, subscribe, and don't forget to press the bell icon. Thanks for watching.